From Plant Lab in Austin, Texas, this is Stacker News Live!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker News Live. My name's Car. I hope we're live. Are we live? Maybe.
We should be. If we're not, let us know.
Oh, yeah, we are live. Cool.
Okay, great.
Keyan, how was your week?
How was my week? My week was great. South by Southwest is coming to Austin, and so
Vibes are high in Austin right
I
now,
want to
Keyan.
move out of Austin temporarily.
Dude, it's fun out there. Have you walked outside?
I don't like it. You like it?
Hell yeah, I love it. It's just going to get more packed, more people day by day as we get closer.
See, that's the thing. I feel like this thing happens to you where you suck their, you benefit from their energy.
Always.
I feel it like bounces off of you. For me, it's just they're eating my soul. Usually those people, usually the new people.
Right now, I'm like Mario Sunshine. I'm just getting all the stars.
Oh.
And then wait till we get till Tuesday. That's when all the musicians come.
Oh, that's cool. I like the
all
people.
The creatives come. Right now, it's just all the tech bros and tech girls, and then they leave like on Monday.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's nice. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the busyness of Austin. That's one of the reasons I don't like Austin during the summer, is that it turns into a bro town. Everyone just wants to come and, I don't know, get high on 6th Street.
What? Hey, we're not on 6th Street anymore.
Try to pick up
We're on Congress.
Someone in a bridal
We're on Congress
party.
now, Keyan. We're on Congress. No, it's going to be a fun time. I think Austin's, this is the time I love every year. It becomes a lot of fun. And then next week, we have a lot of top builder teams coming. A lot of people are coming into Austin for Bitcoin Takeover Week. It's going to be a good one.
Is that when Startup Day is? Next week?
Next week, yeah, next Thursday.
Wow.
And then we have Bitcoin Takeover on Friday.
Holy moly.
A lot of people are coming to town, Keyan. A lot of people want to meet you.
Well, if they're Bitcoiners, I'm good with it.
Yeah, they're all Bitcoiners.
Yeah, Bitcoiners don't suck my soul the same way that fiat people do. That's the truth.
That's good. It's good to know. If this is your first time watching Stacker News Live, my name's Car. This is Keyan, and we cover the top 5 stories here on Stacker News. What is Stacker News? It's only the best place in Bitcoin to find out what's going on in Bitcoin. It's the front page. If you've never been here, you should check it out. Stacker.news. Serious. It's cool. I mean, what do you think about it, Keyan? You think it's a cool place?
I like it, but it's like asking someone if they think their house is a cool place.
Is your house a cool place too?
I mean, it's okay.
Is it as good as Stacker News?
I mean, I spend more time on Stacker News than I do in my house. So Stacker News is basically my house. But yeah, I don't trust my opinion of it.
Check it out. Yeah, if you've never been, check it out. Stacker.news. The spot is blowing up, Keyan. We got people doing clips. We got live streamers on there. We're just waiting for one of our friends who says he was going to sponsor to sponsor.
Did they say that?
Hint, hint. He did say that. He said, wait around March, Car, then we'll sponsor.
Oh.
Haven't heard back from you.
I thought it might be one guy.
Haven't heard back from you. We're ready. Ready to do this.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to getting sponsored.
Maybe we get Bitwise to sponsor.
When you're an athlete, that's always
Stacker News Live, sponsored by Bitwise. Look at that. Woo, doggy.
Oh, man.
It's a lot of ETF.
Do you think they give us ETFs?
They'll give us some ETF.
Money?
Maybe they'll just shave us off some ETFs.
Yeah.
You never know.
They just inflate the supply of ETFs.
Shoot or shoot, Keyan. You got to ask. The first top story is low time preference. We don't have much time left. This is from Siggy47, March 6th, mostly harmless territory, 66 comments, 134,000 sats? Are you kidding me? What?
Yeah. Whoa. I just thought it was a good post.
I thought it was at 20 the other day.
It might have been. Someone might have zapped it up to the max.
That's crazy. What is this about?
Yeah, this is about Siggy sensing, considering where he's at in his life in terms of his age and, his Bitcoin stack that he's been accumulating since 2018, and whether he should maybe lower his time preference and, not be like his father who worked until the very end. and him and his wife are like considering doing expensive things, and he's considering whether that might actually be the right thing to do, given that statistics say that he has about 10, a decade left or so, and why not get a Corvette and
YOLO, right?
A timeshare. I don't know what people do with money.
Don't they go to Florida?
I think he mentions his father went to Florida to retire. Well, sort of retire.
Everybody goes to Florida, right? Or near the beach.
Yeah, New Yorkers do. Yeah, I don't know. Florida, I don't know why you'd go to
I feel
Florida.
like you go to Florida for retirement and then any other like Latin country for middle life crisis, I think. Right? Or no? Or am I like,
I don't know. I haven't heard the second one, the Latin country one. I haven't heard that one.
Or no, for expats maybe. Right?
I'm not really sure.
I don't know these things.
The main midlife crisis thing is like, you get like a tattoo at 40.
If you've never had one before,
that's your midlife. You're like, I'm ready to be the person I wanted to be, and I wanted to be a person with a tattoo of a bat on my deltoid.
It's kind of late.
Yeah, and then they get like a car. That's like that's most people's thing. They're like, I think. I don't really know. I'm looking forward to mine. I don't know what it'll be like.
You're looking forward to your midlife crisis, or
I'll probably eat like a whole bag of like family-sized Doritos or something. That'll be like mine.
Damn. Sounds like a great night.
Right? I don't know what I would do. I feel like I've been in a midlife crisis my entire life. That's how it feels.
Hey man, midlife crises aren't bad.
Did you go through?
I'm sure. I feel like like you. I feel like my whole life has been a midlife crisis. I mean, that's why I'm always smiling, because what's that Joker thing where he's like, your whole life's a tragedy and you just smile about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I suspect you go through like a end life decision making, and maybe not a crisis, and you're considering whether you should, buy stuff and, really, really hit the bucket list. Sounds like Siggy's happy not doing that, but
yeah, don't listen to us, Siggy. I think my favorite part was at the end. He goes, I'm a Pink Floyd fan, and the lyric that always struck in my head was, when I was young, no one told you when to run, you missed the starting gun. I think of that a lot now. Now I'm at a point, no one is telling me where the finish line is. Man, that hit so hard when I read that.
You feel like you missed the starting gun?
No, that's a line.
I know.
Gosh, which
it means something, right? What does it hit?
Well, that's the thing about Pink Floyd, man. I don't know if you ever saw one of those like documentaries, but it's always about their, not all of them, but most of their songs are about their lead singer who like went through like a manic episode, and then they had to kick him out of the band, and it's a whole thing. And they wrote a lot of their albums about Syd Barrett, and it's a whole thing. That's why Pink Floyd has this like kind of cult-like following. There's never been a band like that. Yeah. Anyways, I had the top comment.
Congratulations.
I was surprised too. But let's read what MX12 Art said. He says, I read your story and it hit home. Your dad's work ethic and your own journey with money and Bitcoin are fascinating. Your commitment to living below your means and embracing Bitcoin later in life is admirable. I get your hesitation about spending Bitcoin for retirement. It's like trading something precious for something less valuable. Excuse me. The Pink Floyd lyric you mentioned sums it up nicely. Life's a race, but sometimes we miss a starting gun. Excuse me. Your journey shaped by experiences and guided by Bitcoin is pretty cool. Yeah, I think Siggy's just a legendary stacker. I think it's safe to say. If you guys haven't read any of Siggy's posts, this is him right there. Weird looking fella. But he has some pretty amazing articles. He also did the Anita Posh Sans Razor. Just a legendary stacker. I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
Legendary stacker, for sure. For sure.
That's what I'm telling you, man. These stacker influencers are coming out in droves, Keyan. Get ready.
All right, I'm ready.
The next top story is Apple, love it or hate it. This is a David W. March 3rd privacy post. 43 comments, 109,000 sats. Jeez Louise. That's a lot of sats, bro.
How many dollars?
Are we in a bull market? We are in a bull market.
I mean, that's a typical.
It's life-changing money right there, Keyan.
Is it?
Yeah.
in like a decade, is what you're saying, right?
I don't know, man. The way it's been going now, by the end of the week, who knows? What is this about?
You had to get some price talk in there. This is about Apple and just kind of the way someone who has been an Apple fan might start viewing Apple as time goes on, and gets into kind of the nitty gritty of like what's great about Apple. The suggestions that they're going to be valuing privacy more, but then they are doing things that seem kind of against that. And where does that leave us? What should we do? But like one of the things mentioned here in this section here is that MacBooks have like a stellar experience on them. Like I can't imagine a better trackpad. I can't imagine better battery life. And as far as I know, they don't really exist as well in other products.
I think the trackpad is it for me. It's the battery life of the trackpad and the display.
Yeah, you should get a plug-in for your trackpad.
I do. It's right there.
Oh, well, there you go. But then there are a bunch of things that Apple seems to be. Their like App Store stuff is pretty bad.
Really bad.
Yeah. They might have backdoors. There's a few documented cases of their hardware having like an actual door that you can see. Whether they were using it or not isn't clear. And
they can log into your iPhone even when it's off. So it's a whole thing.
They cooperate with governments a lot because they're in a position where the government's asked them to do that, and it seems like they comply. So it's a mixed bag with them. I think my overall thinking on this, though, is that Apple is filled with a very large number of people, and some of them are very privacy conscious and pushing Apple in that way. But then you have other people pulling it, in a more kind of business totalitarian way where the bottom line is the main thing. So, I think we're just seeing that fight taking out, or that fight taking place. And he mentions in here about Apple's advertising, or Apple not doing advertising, and that being like a nice foil to all the advertisers who have to collect a bunch of data. But Apple has flirted with advertising. I think they are.
Yeah, they had iAd.
They're considering.
That actually wasn't a bad product though, at the time. And then I think Google ended up stuffing in and Mobi and like all these other ones. But iAd wasn't a bad product.
I think more recently they've been considering adding ads to products because it's just if they can get their quarterly earnings up, that's really all that matters. And ads are something they haven't explored yet. So
they've explored it. Remember, I only know about a lot of Apple because I was one of those fanboys. But Forstall did it. So this is Scott Forstall. He was the one that created the whole was it the design? Remember when it used to look like a calendar when it was an actual calendar? He was the guy who came up with all that before Johnny Ive took over.
I remember when he got fired.
Then he got fired. But he was the one that ran the iAd thing, and that was like the last great thing that I think he made. But he was like a direct confidant of Steve Jobs.
Yeah, they were really into skeuomorphism.
Yeah, that's what it was called, skeuomorphism.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't know, man. I'm in a place right now where I need to get a new laptop, and I am looking at the MacBook Air, like the 14-inch one, and it looks great. But then there's all these other things that you bring up, and so for me, I don't know what else is out there for my setup. The only saving grace I would say to all this, and this is something I've considered, is like a lot of the AI stuff and a lot of the stuff that I use that used to be that you would have to install and run. You no longer have to do that. You can do that from a web browser now, and it's just becoming more increasing. I think the biggest thing that's holding me back right now is just not having a full-fledged Adobe Audition. But I think once somebody figures out like how to do like an Audition or a Logic Pro on the browser, I think I'm like all the way there. And we're probably a couple of years away from that, at least for me personally, as like a content
So it's like an audio. You're describing an audio.
Yeah.
thing.
So literally, the only thing I'm waiting for is just the audio, like
editing.
editing. And because I have a lot of like plugins and invested money in that already. So that's the only thing that's stopping me is just the audition.
I'm surprised no one has built like a Figma for audio because
I know, right?
Yeah.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
That we've seen it for all the other stuff, but no one has done one. I've seen it on the iPad, but I haven't seen any on the thing. Great post. What do you think about the some of the charts that he posted here?
I think it's kind of alarming how we're kind of at the forefront of a lot of those, especially that we're competitive with China in terms of the number of requests, even though our population is smaller. So I find that kind of weird. But maybe we have a similar number of iPhone users or Apple users as China does in terms of the population. I'd be curious what that's like.
I think the weirdest thing for me, and maybe this is just me being naive, I just don't understand why you have to monitor the entire American population. Like, I don't understand that. I don't get it. Yeah, is it just because they can? Or is it because they actually are fearful for, is it just power, you think?
I think it starts that way. I think it starts where it's like, oh no, if we don't, like we could be more safe if we did listen to all of these and have a better grasp on the things that are going to happen in the future, given the data that we're collecting. And then at some point that just becomes like the rule that they follow, is that more data is safer. And then so any opportunity they get to increase the data that they're collecting and the privacies that they breach, they take it. And
do you think that's, do you think Bitcoin fixes that?
No. Why would it fix it?
I don't know. I don't know if you like play it out. Like, do you think there's anything as far as incentives or any other type of structure that Bitcoin, yeah, I can't think of anything else.
I'm not sure. So I don't know if Bitcoin fixes it specifically. I can't see a direct line, but you could maybe make an argument that having a more sound money makes people make better long-term decisions, and all these privacy breaches aren't in the like interest of people long-term. But that I don't have the confidence to say that will happen like other people do. But I do think it would be better for the world if they were using Bitcoin more.
I wonder what the privacy as far as like the industry is for that. Like, is there a number attached to the privacy industry as far as how much it makes? And do we know?
You mean the invasion of privacy industry?
No, I mean like, yeah, like even that too, like some of the block budget stuff. Like, do we know how many billions of dollars are actually being poured into both sides of the privacy war?
Well, I would guess
on the world
invasion side is a lot of
so
money.
You think that's far less than the
actual money that's poured into privacy technologies? Probably
both sides.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, that would be interesting. I would be interesting to see a study on that, or if anybody's made an article on that. So the top comment for this one was from Norazov. Look for grandma normies. It's great, but I get why some devs in Bitcoin sovereign computing still take that crap serious. I once bought an Apple laptop. It didn't offer me. That's the setting that closing the lid would not suspend the computer. Similar experience with the iPhone. Wi-Fi off. I don't need a nanny when I use my device. Yeah. It looks like everybody agrees. Check it out. Legendary post. Another legendary post by David W. Quickly becoming a privacy guy in the Stacker community.
Well, he runs the privacy territory.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying he's like becoming the privacy guy as far as like these privacy posts that we get.
Yeah, probably has the most comprehensive catalog of privacy posts.
Get him on the pod.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. I'd love to hear more about David. That's one thing is like when
there's probably privacy, so he probably doesn't.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't even know if have I met David before. I don't know or anything like that. He doesn't talk about his origins much. The Siggy, I get the satisfaction of learning about Siggy through his posts usually, but with David, I don't really know much about David. But he has another post this week that's in the top where he gets into, I think, his background a little more, not directly, but implies quite a bit. And
Yeah, the third top story is building better products, less is more. This is a builder's post from David W. March 5th, 16 comments, 109,000 stats. What is going on? What's going on with Stacker News? You get rid of rewards and
we didn't get rid of rewards.
everybody
they're
goes
monthly now.
Everybody goes up. So
This long-term thinking, dude. Is Bitcoin good or bad? That's the experiment that's running on Stacker News right now.
What's this post about, Kim?
This is a post about removing features from products or not adding them, and that leads to a better, product overall. Is kind of the general sentiment. The title kind of says it all. Less is more, and it kind of describes why that is and how you might go about knowing whether something is worth adding or not, so that you don't add things that are just more while making your product less. And
nice chart.
Yeah, Blue Ocean stuff is kind of
Great
one
book.
One way he views, or one argument, like a kind of in favor of having less, is that you're not adding all the more that exist in current products.
Yeah. How do you look at this compared to the Bitcoin ecosystem? It's a little, I don't know, at least in my head, it feels a little bit different when applying these kind of I don't want to say strategies, more like propositions to a project or a company.
I mean, I think that as a general rule, I think less is more in a product. It suggests as a solution to like building too much is testing more and engaging with users more. And I think that's a perfectly valid thing. Yeah, I don't really have a rebuttal. I think this applies to Bitcoin. I think Bitcoiners should focus on
Revenue.
the things that make the things that Bitcoin do that make their product great, and not really focus on much else, unless their product isn't very Bitcoin focused.
I think now, at least it feels like to me that more Bitcoin businesses should be focused on revenue, just from the get. And I don't remember thinking that way, maybe because I was young and dumb, or not even young, I was just dumb. But I would just say I think that to me, like as far as like if there's let's just say hypothetically there's a Bitcoin project that's coming into Pub Lab and they're trying to bootstrap it, I would say let's focus on revenue first. Users as well. Users revenue, same thing. But like there is a pathway to 20,000 users. I don't know. I just think there's nothing better in the world than seeing recurring revenue every month as far as a person who's building a project. It just puts a lot of worries, not away, never away, but it definitely eases the pain. So
yeah, I think
I think that falls right in line with less and more because it allows you to focus and get exactly right what your users and community want.
I mean, I think it can go the other way too. When you're focused on revenue, you might be building a ton of product features that appeal to very small niche segments of your customer base so that you get revenue from them. Really, I think the only way you get a product that's less is you actively try to make it less. And it doesn't happen through by doing anything else. It's usually you have to very strategically make it less because the natural tendency to solving any problem is adding more parts to a solution.
Right. I don't know. I just feel like these days it's just the days of, I mean, unless you're one of those lucky, I don't want to call them lucky people, but unless you're one of those types that can raise a lot of money doing something exceptionally well, which I think are very few. But I think the way it looks like an ecosystem right now is literally just getting it done. getting it done.
You definitely should think about. I think there's multiple sides to revenue. I think thinking about it is great. The only reason I would say not to think too hard about revenue, especially if you can raise money, is you don't know how you'll make you don't know ahead of time how you'll make money, and so it's very hard to figure that all out ahead of time, rather than step in, see if your vision for the future has any basis in reality at all.
Yeah, do you agree? I was going to say, I mean, this brings up, this is a question for you. I've never asked you this question. Do you think it's smarter to, let's say, raise a little bit of money and then run 6 month sprint, blow it all, burn through it to see if there's product market fit? Or do you think it's smarter to raise money and then run, but literally think long and hard about how you're going to get to, $1 million a year as far as recurring revenue? And it doesn't have to be those numbers exactly in those timeframes, but how do you think through that?
This is the kind of problem with most startup advice. It's like you want to do both, really. You want to go as fast as the person who's burning through their money, and you also want to do the thing where you're thinking long and hard about the future potential of the product at the same time, and you have to be able to like switch between them. But you can, there might be one strategy might be a good strategy. If you can't sprint extremely fast and hard, maybe you do have to think longer term and be more conservative. It varies, but I think you need to be able to really think about both.
Do you think it depends on the type of product or the type of company they are?
For sure. I think so.
Yeah.
I think some products, I think most people should raise money in cases where they want to de-risk the life cost that running a startup will have, to explore an idea. And there are people who are willing to do that if you're
Did you find it, Carlos? Sorry.
What did he find?
Did you find your keyboard? Nice. He was trying to find
the
right keyboard.
The fourth top story is about Carlos's keyboard.
Let's see. The next top story. This is the final top story. It's a fun one. What is the song of this bull run? This is a Bitcoin post March 3rd.
This is the final one. This is the fourth one.
Oh, I'm sorry for the fourth one. The Bitcoin Bugle, 59 comments, 6,131 sats. Keyan, what is this?
Well, I think you'd be better talking about this than I do. Like half these songs, I don't
know the Endor one, but I think that's the one that Atwood always tells me about. The Lightning Strike by Judas Priest, definitely know that one. The Climb by Miley Cyrus, no, don't know that one. Oh, Bob Dylan, definitely, yeah, I know that one. DJ Khaled, All I Do Is Win, yeah, that makes sense. Avicii, I feel like maybe I know that one. And then The Higher by Creed is the one that won. Oh no, it didn't win. But that's the one I keep seeing on Twitter, though.
Well, Other was what won. So as far as the ones that were listed, Creed won.
Oh, it looks like Genesis won in the comments. Justice Genesis.
It's a pretty good instrumental song.
Yeah.
I think.
Kendrick Lamar, Stay Humble. Stairway to Heaven. Yeah, look, I love how you added YouTube. Dude, when are you getting the embeds for the... I need to drop some streamable embeds in here.
Some
what?
what?
You're doing that. Streamable embeds. When are you going to do the embeds for streamable?
Whenever you implement it, I'll merge it. I mean,
did you hear that, Stackers?
I want to do it.
Somebody do a streamable embed.
I want to do video uploads
Car.
At least. Like, give us an MP4.
No, don't do. You don't need to do video uploads. Just do like.
You can do it live. We can put a YouTube live.
But I can't embed it. Can I embed streamable links on here?
I think you can do a YouTube live link. We'll embed.
Oh.
Yeah.
This whole time.
I think so. I'm pretty sure. If it isn't, it'd be easy for me to add because it's just a URL thing.
What's your favorite band, Keyan?
My favorite band. Oh, I don't really know. Who was I listening to this week? I had someone I was listening to, but I forgot. Oh, Bowie. I was listening to Bowie a lot.
You listen to Dave Bowie, really? Wow, good for you.
Is that a good for me?
Yeah, I didn't know you listened to Bowie.
I listen to a lot of music, a lot of different music.
That's surprising. I didn't know you listened to Bowie. For some reason, I thought you listened to like EDM and weird stuff like that.
I do listen to EDM. I listen to all the weird stuff. I like it all.
I've been listening to Christian rock lately.
Nice.
I'm in my Christian rock era, I think.
I like how hopeful Christian rock is. When I need to be hopeful, I like to listen to Christian rock.
It gets me happy.
I think I would probably, if I had to pick someone now, I think I'm a huge fan of Chris Stapleton. I'm mostly like singer-songwriters.
Like Nelly Furtado? Like
That's-
Taylor Swift?
Are they singer-songwriters? I thought they're more, are they even writing their own songs?
I don't know. I'm just saying names. Cool. Well, check it out. At Bitcoin Bugle, we should shout them out. Or shout them
Yeah,
out.
Bitcoin Bugle. They've been doing a lot more original
Zap
posting.
it.
Zap.
Zap it,
Zap.
stackers.
Car has figured this out so
Zap
that
it.
he
Zap
can't
it.
get hit by a bolt.
Bugle News. Check it out. Woo! Oh, wow. Dang, look at that AI image. Looks scary. I don't know. Bitcoiners from counterintelligence group to combat CIA, fiat maximalist infiltrators. All this sounds real to me. Real to me.
They do a great job with fake news.
It looks all real. Please never make one of me or Keyan, please. I'd be really embarrassed. I'd be really embarrassed, dude. I really would.
You're asking for it. You want one.
Just don't make one of us
secretly want
or Pleb Lab.
I like their name.
I like my anonymity.
Dick Greaser wrote
Right,
this
Jim?
one.
I don't know who that is.
That's the author of this post.
Oh.
Richard Greaser.
Oh, why'd you say the other name then?
Because that's how they go by. They go by Dick Greaser. Their friends call him Dick because it's their nickname. Dick Greaser.
Anyways,
it's a joke.
Check out the site. It's an
intentional.
interesting site. Cool.
The Bugle.
The Bugle. The Daily Bugle. The final top story is I want to pay my employees in BTC. This is from Just Brian. March 5th, Bitcoin post. 42 comments. 2,959 cents. Baby boy.
Yeah, I thought this was cool.
What is this about?
I don't know. Like, how do you manage paying your employees in Bitcoin? How to, like,
No comment.
How
You know,
would
like the cat where he's like, no comment. That's me right now. No
Why?
comment.
Why would you be no comment?
I'm on the record.
Oh, I see. Yeah, how do you record it? Like, how do you do all the reporting that's necessary to do when you have, people on your payroll, you have a W-2?
Like we have a team coming next week. Clams, amazing team using Core Lightning. A lot of the features that Nifty created on the protocol. Is that right? Sounds about right.
I don't think they're only focused
They're
on
accounting.
Core Lightning anymore.
But they're doing a lot of accounting stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That she implemented or her team implemented.
Yeah, I think they do.
But
have a huge influence.
yeah, dude, I think Clams is one of those that's going to figure this out. I think they're the only ones that I know that are far ahead. Plus, John and that team is just a beast.
Yeah,
Beast.
seems like they've been. I mean, I was really impressed where they took Clams just part time.
People don't even realize.
Yeah, I think the vision. I think it's obvious. When I talked to John, it was obvious to me that there's
It's game over. Yeah, you did talk to him. You talked to him at Tab. You talked to him multiple times. Tab at a big.
No, I had a call with one of them the other day. I don't remember
did you
which
really?
one,
Oh,
if it was
recently.
John or the other.
Oh, wow, you're still mentoring.
Well, they reach out to me,
Yeah,
and I like giving people opinions. I like it, or I like giving people feedback that hurts a little bit.
Cool, man. It's great. Top comment was from Darthcoin. Of course it is. You can do it directly or through Bitwage. Bitwage has a platform for employers and also for employees, and you can have employees worldwide. I wrote a guide here.
We're using Bitwage, but I don't even know.
Does Bitwage actually do that though?
I think what they do is they're basically an exchange. It's like a play on an exchange.
Are they an exchange? Who's their exchange?
Well, they're not called an exchange. That's what's kind of cool is what they do is they take fiat, they turn it into Bitcoin, but there's no like exchange interface because people aren't trading. It's merely
Is it Bitwise, the exchange Bitwise? Who is it?
I don't think it is. I mean, I said it's like an exchange in the abstract. That's like their business is very similar to an exchange, but none of the user basic side of it is like an exchange.
All right. Well, stackers figure it out.
Yeah, we use them. I don't know if KR or EK are using them to get paid in Bitcoin.
Wow. Did Darthcoin dox himself on his post?
I don't think so. Did he?
Be careful. Cool. And I think after that, that's it. That's the top 5 stories in Stacker News this week. Now we get into straight shilling Keyan's bags. This is where we are now.
I don't show my bags. I don't think so.
After last week's outburst, it was.
You thought that was an outburst?
It was a joke.
I went back and replayed it. I was like, that didn't even require the response that you had to it. It's like you're so sensitive to like,
Hey, man.
the leaders
You
in
got-
Bitcoin thinking of you a certain way.
Hey, man.
Bitcoin.
This is the ecosystem about relationships, Keyan.
I know.
Don't forget that.
Oh, well, every ecosystem.
Just because you have your house. Don't forget.
Oh, I mean, you shouldn't lie though. Or
No,
hide
it's
the
not
truth.
lying.
It is
It's-
though.
Okay. You want to
no
get into
one's-
it? How is it lying?
If no one's calling them out, it's
what
it's
exactly are you
it's
calling
hiding
out,
the
though?
truth.
What were you calling out?
Did what I say on that episode was that false?
I just was joking right now. I didn't know you really
Okay.
you really want to get into it? We can get into it.
Well, that's what
I think we shouldn't get into it.
well, you're the one who brought it up. I'm not.
I was trying to transition the segment. This is
Oh,
called
sure.
transition.
There
the
was
segment.
no transition.
Hey,
It was just you trying
you play
to
it back later tonight and see if it was a
stir
it was definitely a transition. It was a nice little joke, and then
I won't replay this part. Never.
hey man, keeping it real on Stacker News. That's all you gotta know, Stackers.
Unless it's about certain people in Bitcoin who Car has to maintain a relationship with, even though he holds other thoughts about them. In which case, it won't be real. He'll leave the screen.
You see, I'm just gonna say this, Stackers. I like everybody, but some people I like more, and some people are friends, and some people that I want to continue working in this ecosystem, Keyan. I don't want to like burn bridges. I've seen what it does to others, and to be honest, like when you're building something long term that requires community and requires a lot of people, requires a lot of help, you have to maintain a sense of responsibility of what you say. And that's what I'm trying to say is like, you can say whatever you want. I just can't be on screen when you say these things. That's all I'm trying to say.
But
That's
I didn't. That's my point is that I didn't say anything that was worth going off screen for. I went back to it and I felt like I didn't say anything rude at all. The way you responded as if I had said something that I didn't say.
Well, last week I was trying to raise sponsorship money, so
I see.
it didn't help. But actually, it kind of did because we ended up getting sponsorship money.
Well then. All right. Well, we did an AMA this week with the co-founder and CTO of Bitwise, which was awesome. We learned about the nitty-gritties of ETFs. I don't recall Hong's first name, but goes by the handle Hong. And they're the CTO, so they have a little more technical insight into what's going on. But I don't know of another person who is a founder of an ETF publicly asking questions or answering questions of plebs. And so this was really cool. And a friend of the show set this up.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know if they want to be outed as having a relationship with Hong, so I won't say their name, but appreciate that person.
Looks like DK had a question. He said, what are your opinions about new payment technologies, Lightning, eCash, Fedimints, etc.? Do they impact your business much? Do institutional clients ask questions about such things? Hong said, I think people are overly down on Lightning when it works pretty well in the custodial enterprise use case. Lightning, in my opinion, is what will be the interoperability layer that bridges liquidity between hubs of different kinds. eCash, Nuts, Fedimints are super, super interesting and promising as the last mile payment solution for scale and privacy for the end user. It's much better than just custodial Lightning alone, since it's private, free, and instant. What do you think about that, Cam?
I think his point of view lines up with many people in the space. I don't think that's a controversial view. That is the position that most people have taken on Lightning right now, is that it will be this technology connecting centralized hubs. That's how they're.
Did you see that tweet? There was a tweet by Michael Saylor. He said that ETFs are just another layer of Bitcoin. Do you think that's accurate? It feels kind of convenient.
Well, Michael Saylor likes to play around with language a little bit, like his Bitcoin is energy stuff. I don't think he actually means it by any rigorous. He means it's a layer by any rigorous definition of a layer. But I think he means that it is scaling. It's giving people exposure to Bitcoin. The ETF is giving more people exposure to Bitcoin than people would have without the ETF, and therefore it is scaling Bitcoin like a layer. But I don't think it's, by an engineer's definition, is not a layer.
Yeah. Get Cascader with a question. Do you see products like Hoseki being industry standard? Hong said, I hope so. We're doing our part, publishing our Bitcoin holding addresses for BITB and pushing the conversation. At least the other ETFs couldn't claim that it's not possible. I thought Kathy Wood was doing hers as well.
Oh, you mean other ETFs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There are like 10 of them, aren't there?
Yeah.
There's an insane.
But I thought
number
she
of them.
was transparent with that, though.
She might be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe we get her to do it, maybe.
Okay. Let's do it.
Make it happen, stackers. Cool.
Make it happen.
This one was mine. So BlackRock. This is how much Bitcoin they have, Keyan. 180K in Bitcoin. This is one from
They've
KR.
almost caught up to Saylor at this point, right? Saylor has like
Oh, wow, you're
200,
right.
200. Yeah.
Oh, wow, you're right. Do you think he's like trying to... Yeah, David always said BlackRock would love to tokenize shares of everything in the world, including your grandma and kitchen sink.
Oh.
Becoming the legal owner when there's fundamentally no logical or even technological reason we need them to.
Wonder how much shares for my grandma would go. That's a person
Probably a
worth.
lot.
You think so?
I think human beings are not priced in. Just kidding.
They're not priced in.
Not priced into the Bitcoin price.
Also, the great halving of our population that will happen as we stop having children.
So
Not priced in.
the other one, this is more meta than me shilling Builder's Territory, but Builder's Territory is nearly profitable. This is from KR. What do you think?
I think it's great.
Do you think that's convenient?
I think it's very convenient.
I mean, it doesn't hurt. We have Stacker News Live where I get to shill Builder's Territory every week.
I think what probably tipped you over the edge was you had a lot of builders coming from Top Builder posting. And so that was
And I think I told you when we had that conversation, I think for me, I'm just looking at it from a, let me see if I can go to Builders. Like I'm just using it as an extension now at this point for Plub Lab. So I'm not even trying to hide the fact that it's not just a community ran, whatever you call Stacker News site. And so that's how I'm running it. And then I make sure not to upvote anything that's not appropriate, I guess.
Not on your things you want to see.
Yeah, but the stuff that's really good, I'll definitely upvote and try to get them at least back to 1,000 sats or whatever.
Yeah,
but I think the price makes sense for the territories. I don't know why anybody's. I mean, I get why you would want to do it lower, but I think 1,000 sats should be the minimum for territories. Like you should. I remember you building Stacker News in the early days, and so
it was 1 sat until I don't know, probably like 6 months ago.
Yeah,
it was 1 sat to post.
Yeah, and I think
there's an outcry when we raised it to 10.
But I remember when you posted, or I remember when you built Stacker News. I was there from the beginning, Keyan.
You weren't though, because not the very beginning.
Not the very beginning. I was close enough. Closer than anybody I know. Anyways, hey man,
I'm here to set the record straight, Car.
Hey, I'm here to keep
it real.
I was early,
just like you.
So
only I do a better job. I'm just kidding.
Apparently you do.
I'm just kidding.
Hey man, shoot. Hey, so what I was gonna say is I remember when you were doing the early Stacker News stuff, you would comment on everything, you would zamp everything, and I remember you being almost where it was just kind of dude, all you're doing is commenting on a lot of the same stuff. I think that's just what I try to do. It's the same way.
Yep. Yeah. It's a lot. I mean, it takes you have experience with Plub Lab where imagine if people showed up to Plub Lab and you just ignored them.
I don't do that.
Well, that's exactly because you want them to be part of the community that you're building, and so you have to do the same thing with the territories. Or any online community, it has the same rules. The reason why people show up to begin with is to engage with like-minded people, and if there's no one there for them to get engaged with, they're gonna not leave and go to another one.
I would recommend anybody who has a Bitcoin company, it makes no sense for you not to have your own territory. Personally, I don't understand why you wouldn't. All the users are here on Stacker News, all the builders are here. It doesn't make any sense, in my opinion. But this is where Car is always crazy, so that could be a crazy thought. And then I put on here the list of ideas that I want. So I'm going to read them to you so that way they're out there in the world and maybe they come true. I think we need a more personalized profile page. I've told you this already. We need badges. We need gifts. We need stickers. We need templates for posts. It'd be great to have like templates that I can just automatically use. I don't know what that looks like. Subscriptions. We need perks for the stackers who subscribe to the territory. We need a general store. I've been calling this for 2 years. At some point, maybe you'll give me a general store.
I like the general store.
I want to sell
there are two of these so far that I heard that I liked.
Selling digital goods. I want stacker mail. I want my own stacker email address. And I want to send instant zaps. That's what I want. I want video embeds. I want song embeds. I want a top contributors embed like a friend list, so I can share this like on other sites. Basically, it's basically like, remember MySpace?
Remember.
Yeah, and that's like how it grew. It grew because you had like you could share all that stuff. Anyways, I want customized wallpaper, stuff that Reddit has basically.
Mm-hmm.
Quizzes, all that kind of stuff. I think collaboration posts. I think you should build that if you haven't built that already. Like that needs to be like a high priority thing. Just because imagine like a David W. / Siggy collaboration post. Like that would be a sick post.
I mean,
and that could probably happen through Stacker Mail. I don't know. And then a Teams for territory owners.
I don't know. It's like Sturgill Simpson doing like hip hop though. It's like I think at some point we think it's going to be a great thing because there's like this genius artist. He's going into a new. I just think the collaboration thing is a bit of a a red herring, but like some of those ideas in there, I definitely agree with. The personalized profiles. What's another one? The private messages.
Ooh.
The general store.
Stacker Mail's income.
Video and song embeds.
Ooh, yeah. Hey, if you get the Stacker Mail, if you just like
customized territories,
like general store, Stacker Mail,
there's like half of these,
and then embed. I would be happy with those three.
I'm interested in doing. I think some of these other ones, I'm not. Like badges and gifts and stickers.
Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to do that.
I think those are like that's more is less. That's like I think that's actually bad for Stacker News.
Okay.
But some of these other ones, these are actively on our roadmap. It's just we have two human beings trying to.
EK, work harder.
He's already working really.
Doesn't matter. Work harder. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. It's a joke. Cool. The next one is this is Meta.
Oh yeah. So this is my this is like what I've been thinking in terms of how we gamify Stacker News open source contributions. There's no more beer. No, there isn't.
Okay.
Anyway, this is like me laying out the game structure that I intend to do, and a rough draft of it at least, and with a goal of trying to mint more people who are competent in the Stacker News code base. So when they have a list of things they'd like to see on Stacker News that maybe aren't high priorities for us, they can come and add them themselves, and we'll pay them to do it because it's still because it's consistent with our vision and it's something we want to do.
Cool. Thank you, sir.
Are these
sparkling water?
Alcoholic sparkling waters?
No, they're just sparkling
signature.
So how is this going to work again?
Basically, you contribute if you contribute to Stacker News, we'll pay you, and we're going to label things with certain difficulty levels and priorities, and that will decide the price that you get paid for something, in addition to a variety of other things. Like if you wanted to go on to Stacker News' GitHub page and say, this is what I want a profile page to be in great detail, and then someone comes along and they implement that PR and it gets merged, we will pay you in addition to them.
Can I just do like a loom or something?
No, it has to be specified in text so that people can read it.
Can I do a loom and then get AI to specify it in text?
I mean,
that's a joke.
The whole thing, everything is tied to it eventually getting integrated in the product. So I'm not going to pay you to create an issue that no one is able to like take the instruction of and build a feature into it.
It's a good idea. Who thought of this idea? Is this Rook?
No.
It's good ideas coming from Stacker News.
Yeah, it's not really, and I think it's just like.
But what are you gonna?
How do we make people want to do this more?
Did you already do this? Did you already launch this?
This will get launched after I finish up some of the work I'm currently working on, but this is pretty much. I think the game structure is sufficient to.
Would this go in bounties, I guess, or
It's not a bounty. It would just be it would be primarily hosted on GitHub until we have more features.
Would it just be down here? Or you just leave it in GitHub, I guess? Okay. We got the top comment from DK. I love how you're being thoughtful about how to align incentives here, Coob. I don't have specific opinions about changes to suggest, but I wonder how much of this is adopting existing best practices from other open source bounty programs, how much represents innovation and incentive systems, and how to judge success of this proposal. If this breaks new ground in FOSS incentives and it succeeds, it could help positively influence other projects. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I responded there, and those are my thoughts. I don't think it's actually anything groundbreaking in terms of incentives. I think there hasn't been much experimentation with open source incentives. There's been bounty programs. Most of them are bug bounty programs, and most of them do not pay out very fast or reliably, and you don't know how much you're going to get paid ahead of time in many cases. I think this is just an attempt to actually do a slightly better job than what might exist.
How hard is it to get people to do bounties in the ecosystem? Or do you know?
To contribute code, once in a blue moon, we'll get someone who comes along and they're a stacker and they're also a coder, and they're like, I have some free time. I want to learn more about the product and see this product improve, and they'll just start contributing. EK was that way. We Are All Satoshi was that way. We had another contributor a while ago called R Lead. Currently have another guy, I believe his name is Brandon, who's contributing.
Wow.
Felipe. We have probably 20 people who've come along and done this at one point or another.
Just because they love Stacker News
number. I think it's multifold. It's like they want to see Stacker News improve. They are curious about how a project like Stacker News works. They want to have more open source, more of an open source portfolio than they currently do.
There you go. There you go. Let me see. There you go. Start contributing.
Yeah, we're going to get to 400 stars here soon. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Car sponsoring.
Are you sponsoring?
Of course I am.
Oh,
I believe in you.
I think it might be our only sponsor right now.
I believe in you.
I didn't realize we had a sponsor currently. Yeah. I think Gigi dropped away, and I think I had also, it was Sean from Amboss.
Oh, look at Ben's contributed
early. He did. He has a contributor badge on his Stacker News profile because he contributed.
Look, I know this guy.
Oh, yeah. Austin is another. He didn't come along as like a stray open source contributor. He contributed after him and I knew each other, but same thing.
There you go, Stackers. Contribute. The next one is, so I'm going to talk about this because it's story time with Car. Or before we do this, let me just jump into the other news real quick. Mutiny Wallet announced iOS, Android from Tony Giorgio.
I thought they were already on Android.
If you haven't seen it, download it, get the app, and it's on Google Play too. There you go. Also, Tony will be at Startup Day next week. So if you have any questions, that's the time to ask him. But yeah, they go through it all. I think,
man, it's looking good.
It's looking really good. Cool. And then the next one was Voltage. Did you see this? So Voltage went on Citadel Dispatch last night with Odell, and they went through
I want to mention the other one.
Kind of everything that they're launching. Apparently, they leveraged Amboss to do this type of just-in-time liquidity. I think is what it's called.
Oh, I think it's a future thing they're going to do. They're in the middle of integrating it. I don't think they have it currently, but yeah, they're doing.
Okay, that's probably I couldn't find it. So when I logged on to Voltage today to look at it before the show, it's completely different.
Oh yeah, they did a redesign a week ago.
Yeah, it's wild. So that's new. So I'm gonna have to look into that, and then also the I was looking for it. No wonder I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I think it's just planned.
Looks like you got Justin Litchfield. He said, Justin from Voltage here. We love you guys and are excited to get more of these integrations with Amboss. We'll need y'all to keep building and work tirelessly alongside y'all to be the change. Cool. Check out the pod. What's the next one? You see this? your community bank is collapsing.
Yeah, this has been in the news, I think, for a while now. But it appears.
What would you do if this is like local? This was like a Texas community bank. What would you do? Anything? Anything changes on your side?
I'd cry. I'd cry. I'd get on my hands and knees and I'd cry. I don't know what I'd do. It's a bank. I don't know.
Do you think we're going to get to a point where they're just going to all centralize as far as like?
We'll only use the giant banks.
Yeah. Do you think that's actually a real possibility?
I mean, we'll do that and then they'll blow up and then we'll go back to small banks. I don't know. It's a never-ending cycle.
Yeah.
I think this stuff.
There it goes right there. It's happening. The world is collapsing around us.
That's a little pessimistic. But yeah, the banks seem to be still in trouble and will probably continue to be in trouble for the foreseeable future, as most of them got into weird positions when interest rates were low.
There they go. Regional banks will need to consolidate unless the Fed cuts rates.
Yep.
I did a pod with Brandon. He said they're not cutting until the end of the year. So,
but they'll eventually cut.
And then now it's time for a story time with Car. So this post came up last night from Kepford. It was a privacy post. He was talking about watching Stacker News. It's weird now. Now it's like meta, back into meta, inception meta.
Does that make it not meta if it goes?
No, so this is like meta. Like it's meta about meta into meta. Whatever that is. Anyways, he was asking that, he was saying that he got triggered by something I said.
Do you remember what he said?
I don't remember. I think it was just me being super scared about, like, you know the way I am. I'm a super paranoid guy. Of like the Fed and stuff. You know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I just wanted to share like my story. I think, and I've recorded a couple pods on this, but I think like for me, when I came in and started working with like Marty Bent, who, you know, says some really interesting things sometimes. Great guy. But when I came in, it was really tough for me to understand like how all the attention came in. And I would get like, I don't want to call them death threats, but they were pretty wild stuff, right? In my DMs. This is why I jumped off of Twitter. And so, and then even before that, like I was already getting followed by all sorts of people. At the time I was married, and even my wife was aware of it at that time too as well. Like she's a very practical person. And even she saw it. So anyway, so there was just a lot of that in the early days. And then I think the more and more kind of stuck around, I've just seen, now I can kind of spot it now. Like you can kind of spot those people and spot those types from afar. And so now it's just a little bit different. And I think for me, I think the biggest thing is just being aware of your surroundings and what you're saying. This kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. You know, I'm just very aware of like what I say publicly. You know, what I tell friends, close friends stuff is completely different than what I would say publicly. And I think that's just normal human being stuff. But
yeah, for sure.
I think for me, just to get to Kepford, I think there's a lot of us that maybe have gone similar things with me, but like similar things to me. But I think there's just a lot of us that are aware of that. And so they, you know, some people take different sorts of actions to, you know, keep their privacy guarded. I don't know if you do any of this stuff, Keyan, but I'm definitely way more paranoid now than I've ever been in my entire life. And that's just, it's not even a paranoia of like, I'm fearful of anything, because I'm not. It's just more paranoia of like, who's following me, who's listening. Like, it's just that kind of weird thing. And I think that, and I don't remember ever feeling like that before in my life. It wasn't until I got into Bitcoin or tried to do something in Bitcoin. Yeah.
Something sounded like it was a question in there. I don't really know. I think the thing with privacy is like the thing with like self-defense or having your Bitcoin keys in your own custody. It only matters when it matters. And so you could talk a big game about what's the point? What do I need it for? My keys or my Bitcoin is safe on Coinbase, or no one has a reason to snoop on me. But those things change, and then not having your keys on Coinbase if should Coinbase fail, not or protecting your privacy should someone seek to invade it. Those will all matter when the situation changes. And so I think that's the circumstance with privacy and the way I think about it. I'm not very good at any of those things, but I know enough to know that I'm not doing a good job with a lot of this stuff. And
I think it's also very hard, like once because I never thought I was going to be running a company or even starting a company. Like I was just happy doing Thriller. And so being in the circumstance I am now with Plub Lab, I love what I do. I enjoy it. I do it to the best of my ability. But a lot of this stuff is just kind of, just kind of got thrown into it, I guess you could say. But not really. It was by my doing too. But I think for me, it'd be different if I didn't have to do this. Then I would probably be a lot more private. Otherwise, I don't think you can be private and run a company in Bitcoin personally.
I think you can. I think Lop does a great job of it.
Jameson Lop?
Yeah.
He has like a blog and all sorts of things.
I think your definition of privacy might be different than mine, but he's done an excellent job of actually, I think, shielding himself from public
But how
life
though?
in the ways
How
that-
would you do
in the
that?
ways that matter the most? He writes about it on his blog. He went through this process last bull market when he got, I think he got swatted a couple times. And
Swatted? What do you mean by that?
it's where someone says you're like holding someone hostage at your house, and a SWAT team pulls up to your house, and they
What really, dude? That happened to him?
yes,
Oh wow.
I think it happened multiple times to him. And then so he went about like completely,
Oh my god.
like he went to an insane level
Oh my
of
god.
like diligence and process to actually make it so no one knows where he lives. And I suspect when you see him interviewing on like Peter McCormick's podcast, wherever he might be, that's not actually where he lives. That's not actually his house that you're in. He doesn't.
Wow, dude. I had no idea about that.
He wrote a huge guide on like some of the things that he did. I think it cost him over $100,000, like the full process of becoming as private as he currently is.
What is he running? Does he run Casa or?
Yeah. He's the founder and CTO.
Oh
of
wow. I had
Casa.
no idea. Yeah, I think this is the stuff I didn't even know that. No one talks about this stuff.
He's one of my faves, probably.
Oh yeah, totally. I know you've always talked about him all the time. Yeah. Anyways, well, gosh, that's a major bummer.
What's a bummer?
Just having to live like that.
Oh, I don't think it's hampered his. I think other than going through the process of doing that, I don't think it's hurt his life in any way. It's just his public persona needed protection, and so that's what his private persona needed protection from his public persona, and so he created it. And I think it's pretty awesome. It shows how kind of I don't know what the word for it is. It's a great level. It's a significant level of energy he's willing to apply to a problem and solve it.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know that you can do it if you're running a company. I didn't know that. Cool. I think that's all we got. Let's jump into the top stackers. Just a bunch of people hiding in Darthcoin. Oh, this is the day. Hang on, let's do the week. Just a couple people hiding in Darthcoin.
Top stack. Well, this is stackers by value. So these are quite a few stackers in hiding, protecting their privacy, which we were just talking about.
Yeah, it's been a privacy show.
Yeah.
Bitcoin Bugle. Now it's back. Good to see now and again.
Now it's on this is a weekly list. Yeah.
Let's jump into the most boring segment. I don't know why we cover this anymore. It's really boring. It's called the Cowboy segment.
I mean, it's not boring to the Cowboys.
It's not boring to KR.
KR is still at the top. I don't know if he'll ever lose his hat. We have Orthworm, the other one that isn't hiding.
I think that's probably KR, Siggy, Doxed. And then whoever the next one is.
That might be me. I'm hiding on there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't think I've lost mine recently, although I might have.
It's good to see Keffer back up there.
Yeah. And Ben, the Mutiny team, nowhere to be seen.
Hey, man. They're waiting for the general store, too.
Out there on the waste.
They're waiting for the general store.
Oh, you're not going to be able to buy a cowboy hat.
Oh.
Never.
Can
you might
you
be
get
able to buy a
hat?
lasso. Maybe you can buy, like, some horse food or something, some hay.
Can you buy a horse?
You might.
Can you buy some, like,
horses
guns?
Maybe you can buy bullets.
Oh, wow. Bullets, bullets, steer, and Bitcoin. There you go. Just have some like tacos, fajita tacos. That'd be great.
We can't serve food.
And then we're going to jump into the Million Sat Mile. Or what is it called? Million Sat Madness. Million Sat Madness. What's going on here? Why am I not on the top 64? Did I get removed?
No, you did not.
I'm on Stacker News every day.
Oh, yeah, but you're not. How much are you contributing every day?
A lot. As much as time as I got.
Well, I mean, that might not be very much time relative to everyone else. And so this
at least an hour every week.
This is graded on a curve. This is graded on a curve car. And
how much times are these guys contributing every week?
Oh, well, I mean, apparently
Darthcoin is living on what's going on with Darthcoin? He's coming back slashing everybody. Yes. Darth, stop it. Stop it, Darth. Put down your beer and stop it.
Anyway, this is our top list. Darth. Most of the people in the very top are hiding, but
Elvis Mercury.
We got quite a few people on the list. I'd like to add like the last day. Did you go up or down? That'd be kind of cool.
Who came up with this idea? The Sat Madness.
Sat Madness was Rook's idea.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a fun idea.
Cool.
I like monthly rewards too. It seems to be working out better.
Do you want to jump through the saloon real quick, see what the stackers are doing?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Lots of pictures in the saloon today. One of Scoresby's famous posters.
Yeah. Look at that. Is that your cat? No, that's not your cat.
My cat's dead, Car. You know she's dead. How dare you?
I'm sorry.
Every opportunity to remind me that my cat is dead.
What the heck is that? The peanut butter? Bitcoin jam. Wow.
It's apricot jam.
Send that to Blub Lab.
Are you a jam guy?
Oh, I used to love the X-Files when I was a kid.
Does it hold up? Probably not, right?
Nah, I haven't seen it in a while. Have you seen this? Have you seen this around?
Yeah, I've seen this meme quite a bit. Not with Stacker News on it, but that format.
Yeah. A lot of good stuff in the saloon. Whoa, what's this?
Oh, that was like an old COVID meme.
Okay, cool. Keyan, what are you doing this weekend?
I'm going to keep working on the stuff I was working on, probably. I think that's it. I'm trying to making it easier to contribute to Stacker News. That's my main focus right now. But other than that, I don't think I have anything. How about you? What are you doing?
I'm probably just gonna work. I got a couple things I need to ship out, but I think that's it. We didn't get any comments. We got some comments from the chat. Let's see what this says. Coob replying to me. Hang on, I got this screwed up because I can't see. There it goes. Coob replying to me December 23. Yep, we're ahead of you on the map idea. It's going to be lit. Any developments? This is from Last Spartan.
Yeah, this is so we eventually plan to put territories in a map, like a physical map that you can kind of browse.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones style?
I mean, sort of. I mean, if that's, I don't really think of a map, but yeah,
it does matter.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, wow.
You'll be able to, the builders will have a, a section on the map.
That actually makes things a lot more fun now.
Yeah. Whoa. And the more people say you have participating or zapping or something, your region on the map will be bigger.
Yeah.
So that's something we plan to do.
What's happening?
After we do all the other things that, would probably matter more. to people, but that is something we want to do. So there are no developments on that currently.
That'd be cool. Mike said Halfini got swatted once. Really, dude?
People do. There's a documentary on Netflix about it. It's kind of
Really?
Yeah, something weird that people do.
Sheriff badge for founders. What does that mean?
Rather than a cowboy hat,
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
a founder, you get a little sheriff
wow.
badge.
Mike said, what happened to Coop's cat? It died.
Well, it didn't
Super
die.
took care of it, and then after Super took care of it, it went away.
That's correlation.
Hey, correlation is the closest thing to causation.
No, that's not how that phrase goes.
I had a couple Kirklands
Our cat like went outside one day, and
after Super took care of it.
this was about
3 days.
a month after.
Oh, was it? I thought it was like a
probably
week.
like a month. And our cat just didn't come home, and we suspect she's dead. That's what happened to my cat. But now I can live in an apartment, so that's cool.
Yeah. We have 211 people watching. Do you see that?
That's a fake number.
It's a number that's on here.
It's like an error in there.
Maybe.
No one should be watching this.
Pod's blowing up, Keyan. We're saying crazy things. Gotta watch what we say, Keyan.
I mean, you do a good enough job
For both of us?
watching what you say.
Yeah, that's true.
One of us.
Somebody has to be controversial. Let it be Keyan. Cool. Stackers, you go out there this weekend and you be controversial. I want to see nothing but controversial posts on Stacker News, especially in the saloon. If you're not being like Darth, what are you doing? Seriously. I'm joking. But be controversial.
Like Yoda.
This is the time to be controversial. Now that Bitcoin's high, we're in the sky. You be as controversial as you want. You have money to prove it. Why you're controversial, right?
I don't know.
Something.
My general recommendation is don't listen to Car. That's the only
And then
thing I have to say.
your homework this weekend is to watch The Good Shepherd.
What is The Good Shepherd?
Watch it.
Is that the one with Leo?
Yeah, then watch it.
Is that the Leonardo DiCaprio one?
Just gonna say watch it.
Is that Dune 2? Is that like the subtitle of Dune 2?
Oh no, I want to
Have you
watch
seen
that.
Dune 2?
No, I want to watch it.
It's like sold out everywhere, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, dude. It has a lot of good things going for it. I think it's because it's
I like
part
the
2,
first
right?
one.
It's part 2. Oh yeah, it is part 2.
It is part 2.
Yeah.
I like the first one a lot. It's apparently sold out in IMAX for like.
I'm holding out
so-
hope too, Mike. Hope too. Keyan.
Hope for what? My cat?
No, not your cat.
For what?
I think for life. Por vida, Keyan.
Por vida.
Por vida.
Okay. Well, Zap.